Well, hello everybody. It was a long day dealing with a lot of tragic realities of a lot of Canadians, and I found solace in my friend Kelly Knight Kraft, the former USA ambassador, and I went through her Twitter over the last weeks to screen it, to see what she's saying about everything going on. And I was very pleased that she didn't focus on any of that. She called out the Hamas attack in Israel, of course, but now she's very silent, and she actually attacks Canada. And what I like is a lot of things I've shared to her over the years, and even when she was the UNSC ambassador of the United States for Donald Trump. I wrote her, and of course, when she was fired by Joe Biden, I was the first person she Twitter followed. So, I mean, it's a major deal. And, I have some tremendous people in the world following me on Twitter, and I'm the Alberta independence guy, the legal path to Alberta independence. I did that, and a lot of folks have been seeking independence all over the world. But at what cost? At what cost? And when you lose your humanity, when is that enough's enough? I don't want to hear from any more Zionist Jews. I don't. If that's you, or you're somehow wrapped up in that, please unfollow me. Go away. I don't want to hear you. And my friend Jonathan LaBelle, Ian Bachman, Suzette Powder, and then there's others, but those three specifically, we went through residential school genocide. Unlike anything, and I should publish that, I think, now, about what all that was. It should be in a book, but we went through it like nobody else. And no, we weren't investigating residential school genocide. We were teaching chiefs about what you can do on the international stage. And the UNSC, they understand what we were doing and what we were giving to the First Peoples. But it also meant through going through the real history of Canada as it is, like nobody else before us, and maybe not ever again, not as Canada is now. And that was dramatically hard. And what I felt in the last 4 days with Israel and Palestine and the people involved in that, it's just an explosion of what residential school genocide was and is still today, and the ignorance of it when they talk about truth and reconciliation. Iranians, as Jonathan knows, I dealt with them, which was completely toxic, completely nuts, no different than the Zionists. That's just the Iranian nut jobs. And what Iran is in their sick institutionalization, that the Hamas is too. And yes, terrorists, psychopaths, narcissists, people who judge people to be non-human beings. Anybody who does that, you're gone in my books. You're not salvageable. I do believe there's a warm place in hell from you. When I tell people I'm not a Bible thumper, what I mean by that is I don't sit there banging my Bible and in one voice say all of these little things all of you do. Oh, that's bad. You're going to burn in hell, and you got to live this way, that way. But in another sentence, I justify everything I do by saying that these people should die, and oh well, a few thousand children, cracked eggs, who cares? They're not really people anyway. Or a piece of land is God, and that's the holy kingdom here on earth. And if you don't follow that or bless that land, you're going to hell. People like that, whether they're Iranian, the Hamas, Zionists, or bullshit Christians, because really, you can't read anything written by Jesus to support anything you say. And even Moses and the Ten Commandments. I mean, come on, get your head out of your fucking ass. And you want to talk about sin? I could swear 1,000,000 times. And in the one sentence where you said that was justified in the name of some bullshit holy land, you're the one who will be judged and condemned straight to hell. I'm sorry, but if you really truly think you're a Christian, maybe you should read the New Testament and everything written about Jesus by all those who actually followed Jesus. Not books that came after, or books written by kings, or variations. They weren't there. It wasn't the word of Jesus. So please, if you're going to follow that crap and immortalize yourself in that, great. Call yourself anything but Christian, because that is not Jesus Christ. That is nothing he ever taught, and it certainly isn't Moses and the Ten Commandments. So please, save your Christian crap, your theology that you say is what it is, for somebody else, because I'm not going to buy it. The same kind of sick, perverted, supposed Christians or Catholics or Anglicans or many others that say they believe in Christ and God and all this crap, we're sitting there raping children, bumming children, bashing their heads in, all throughout residential school genocide, as church under state, putting divinity in a government, in a crown, and taking their riches, their rich reward for it. Largely pedophiles and perverts, the worst kind of human beings that are to suffer in the burning fires of hell. If you're going to believe in that thing, those are the worst of the worst. And anyone who tries to say, oh, no, you're a nut job, a psychopath, a socialist, fascist, to the absolute definition and extreme. Please, be gone. Good riddance. I don't want you around. I don't even want to talk to you. It's like dealing with a psychopath. And I mean that. Like, pray for these people, sure. But entertain these people? No fucking way. It's sick. It's depraved. These are the most corrupted human souls out there. And you know what? Someone stronger than me has to help those people. And that's not going to be me. I won't. It's against everything I talk about and I educate. And I don't want these people around. You're not of Old Testament. You're not of the Quran, which Old Testament too for the Jews. You're not of the Torah. And Christians, you're not of any Jesus' teachings if you preach this crap. And I don't want to hear it. Go find somebody else. It's like listening to a sick, institutionalized pervert supporting the church, raping the First Nations children, bashing their heads in, taking all the children from the parents to force a new lifestyle upon them, which meant sexual abuse. Which, how do you even come up with that? How would you even come up with any of that stuff? Physical, mental, and sexual abuse. Like, you know, it's Satan. It's totally Satan. Anyone who's ever read any of the scriptures, that's totally the description of Satan. So, if you're talking about, well, those kids, it's the Holy Land, oh, they don't belong there, kill them all, you're a psycho. And I don't want you around. I don't care if you're from Iran. If I've dealt with the Iranians, I don't care if you're Hamas. I don't care if you're Zionist. I don't care if you're a bullshit Christian. I don't want you around. 10 Commandments and the absolute all-written word of Jesus Christ by all of his followers and all the books, which know Revelations and Israel. Israel's a piece of land, dust and dirt. There's nothing Jesus talks about that being some kind of heaven on earth or some holy land. It's the people and how you treat people and believing in a one true God and living your life appropriately. If you want to believe in that. I believe in love thy neighbor. I believe that following the 10 Commandments is a great first constitution, probably the greatest constitution. I love the life and times of Jesus, everything he taught in death and martyrdom, and standing for what's right. And he changed the world, a lot of the world. Were a lot of evil things done in his name? Sure. And again, none of it backed up by any of those actions of those empires and kings in the name of God and everything else. None of it backed up by anything he ever preached or talked about, anything in his life. It's not there. There's no gold, riches. There's none of that. I don't know how people can twist that. I don't know how these radical religions talk about praying for money and riches and fame. That's everything against Jesus. Don't call yourself a Christian. Find another name. Maybe Luciferius. Maybe that's a great name for you, because that's exactly what you're preaching and you're thumping on. And nobody wants to hear it. I know I don't. And if you're a Canadian who likes that, great. Keep it away from me. Send it packing. I had enough with residential school genocide, a lifetime's worth. I'm blessed by my friend Kelly Knight-Craft, former USA ambassador of the UNSC highest stage. I'm glad she's calling out Canada and Canadians on all of their evil sins. She publishes 10 jokes about Canadians, and it hits right here, and it almost brought a tear to my eye. It was a beautiful day outside of all the other emotional abuse from lunatics who thought that following me was a good idea, messaging me is a good idea, and they're going to teach me the truth. Holy shit, freak show. Thanks for outing yourself. I don't want you. But in all that today's toxicity, I had Jeffrey Gibson reach out, and his friend Paula, and Kelly Knight-Craft. Just a wild day of extreme lows. You can see it in me. I think I'm wore out from evil, pure, unfiltered evil. And people you think that are pretty straightforward are completely sick, perverted, deranged. Like I said, I don't want them around me. They're disgusting. They're pure evil. They're exactly what I'm fighting. I don't want them with me. I don't want them joining me. I don't want none of it. It's draining, but at least I found solace in people who understand. And the beautiful thing about Kelly Knight-Craft is while she was UNSC ambassador, and with her husband's tremendous billions in wealth, she's been all over the world in humanitarian crisis after humanitarian crisis, and she really does believe in God, and maybe some of her beliefs are outside of what I believe, but at least she knows the value of a child's soul and life and innocence, and that anyone who breaches that, be damned you, because you are nothing that I would ever aspire to be, join, preach, or jump on board with, or ever even want to sit in the same room as you, because you disgust me. And at least I know there's people there who've already seen it, who've lived it. I know, again, Jonathan LaBelle for sure, Ian Bachman for sure, Suzette Powder for sure, and like I said, there's others, but those three for sure went through one hell of a trial and tribulation with me like no Canadian or no other first person, and that takes guts and soul. And I mean, I'm strong, but what I've had messaged to me and comments and other things over the last 3 days, it's spiritually draining, and it's terrifying. I lost followers, but I don't care. I think I'm at about 6,700 now, but I don't care. I don't want those nut jobs with me. That's my video, folks. I don't know if it's worth a share or not. It's just my thoughts, and kind of the end of the day, I did get rid of a lot of people. I threw out about 5 followers. Some friends quit me. Good riddance, like I said. I don't want that anywhere near what I'm going to be going through here in the next 2 years. I don't want any of that with me. I don't. So God bless everybody. Have a great night, and we'll talk soon. Bye now.